your hosts, Crash Biscuit from Fatal Butterfly and Maxine Maxwell from the Maxwells. Tonight's guest is artist The Spoon Man. Maxine, you want to take
Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. It's great to be back and welcome artists. I just wanted to let you all know that because it is September 11th, we are going to have a moment of silence for those who we have lost and those who have served on that dreadful day, September 11th, 2001. All right. Thank you, everyone. That was very special.
Thank you.
All right. To start out our show, I will go over our mission statement, which is to create. Sorry, I got to get my notes.
You would think you would have this memorized by now, but
no, I should. I guess I'm a little nervous. Okay. To be part of a revolution, to create friendships with other artists, and build a community network to save music.
Absolutely.
And what am I doing here?
I have popcorn stuck in my throat.
Oh, that's exactly why we have you here, artists.
Yes. Okay, before we get started, let's talk about the drinking game. So we have a drinking game, and it doesn't have to be an alcoholic drink. It can be water, soda, coffee, tea, milk, Italian soda. Whatever you guys drink these days. But there are some words to listen for. My word is wicked. So anytime you hear the word wicked, like that's wicked awesome, you take a drink. Anytime you hear Maxine's words, right on, you take a drink. Artists, what is your word for tonight? Please don't say rock. That did not work out so well last time.
Whatever.
Whatever?
Is it whatever? Okay.
Whatever. Help me open this thing.
So,
water.
So here's the thing. Kids, we do not condone underage drinking. So it's strictly water, soda, juice, coffee, tea, anything without alcohol. Adults, I'm not your mom. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life, but just please drink responsibly. I kind of threw that last in. Did you notice that?
Yeah, that was great. So now we're ready to get started with our special guest, artist, The Spoon Man.
The Spoon Man!
Yay!
Hey!
So artist.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It's going to be one of those nights.
Let's
Good thing I'm drinking on Sprite. Squirt tonight, just squirt.
And I teach in the morning, so I'm drinking water and wine, but one at a time. So
isn't that Jesus's drinks?
Yes.
Hi, Draco.
Hi, Draco. Thanks for joining in with us.
I don't even know if he's on, but it just reminded me of Draco.
Aw. All right. So my very first question for you artists is, when did you start your journey as a musician?
Well, my memory, I don't think goes back that far. But as far as I do remember, I would probably have been, I used to imitate sounds. And I was really young, and I went to next door, and our neighbor was doing his table sawing, and I came home and imitated that sound, however it sounded. Ha ha ha! You got it.
I was laughing. I just didn't want to be rude. I had a mouthful of popcorn.
All right. And then, I played and played and played. And I started playing in a bar, one particular bar, in 1972, and people liked it. And by
That was a year before I was born.
by 1974, I was making tips and kept on doing it.
Oh, nice.
I haven't punched a clock since 1974.
Good for you.
I think so.
Yeah, I know so many other musicians that are still punching the clock.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Punched enough. I punched enough time in to get social. So, yeah, it ain't much. Low end of Social Security, but I get that. Now that I'm 71 years old.
Oh,
71. Almost 72. Almost 72.
No, I'm almost 71.
oh, you're almost 71. Okay.
Almost 71. My apologies.
No, I didn't say almost.
Whatever.
Well,
Oh, no, I get to say that.
okay, so who inspired you to want to work in music, artist?
I don't think I had. I don't think I had an iconic inspiration. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I could have stopped it. My mother was a player. I mean, she wasn't a player like stage. I don't think she might have been before I was born. We were like little things like we have open mics and stuff.
Busking?
She was no, she wouldn't have done that. But what I understand, and it would have been just community type or whatever, family or friends and family. Not even as a show. I mean, she was a diamond dance gal, and that was I wish I had asked her a lot more about that or any of her life. But I didn't ask enough about her life, and she never wrote it down, which is like. That's kind of the main reason. I have to. I don't know. It's like it comes with the territory. Recording your music, documenting your life if you do, all of that. I mean, and so I haven't thrown any paper away of any consequence since I was about 10. So I have my story written everywhere, newspapers and flyers and notes and songs. So I'm trying to get the work done to publish that. I've been after it for about 30 years. I don't easily focus, so I need help. And I have great help right now. No funds and a couple of thou.
Limited funds like the rest of us musicians.
Right.
yeah, totally get that. Yeah.
So I don't know. Good. My mother was musical. The thing is, Mom, I was raised by my mother. My stepfather's name is Artis. He's the one I'm named after. But my mom never told me to turn it off. I sit in she turned it down. Oh yeah, she said turn it down a lot. But I'd be in my bedroom with my hi kitty. I lost my kitty recently.
Aww.
Oh, how you had to hold him when they gave him the shot?
Yeah.
Hard.
I recently lost my bulldog of 11 years.
Yeah.
So I had him since he was 9 weeks old, and it absolutely shattered my heart. Maxine can tell you, he was my world.
Yeah, I know.
So and I held his hand as he crossed that rainbow bridge. I euthanized him too.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I
totally empathize with you, Artis.
Daydreamer had diabetes. I only saw it one. I mean, it just he was not able to walk straight, so I took him to the vet. Diabetes, And he didn't get any. I gave him shots twice a day.
I was gonna say I had a dog, or not a
He
dog,
didn't
a
get
cat
any.
named Bucket, and he was diabetic, and I'd have to give him an insulin 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, same. He didn't get better, and
That cat.
you know, I didn't get better either. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, that's tough.
That is
Hi, Kitty.
That's Tiggeroo. His real name is Chase. But since I've been here, like I've called him several names, he just doesn't seem like a Chase to me. I either call him Kitten Face or Tiggeroo.
The thing is, cats don't come to freaking name.
Exactly. They don't give a shit what name you
Not a dog listens.
they're gonna come when they want to come.
Yeah.
So I could just be out there just like shithead.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, Gary Laser Eyes.
It's your coax that gets them to come in. You can coax them in.
Right. I have better chance going out, standing out there and just meowing out at him than I would calling a name. So I just call him Kitten Face or Tiggeroo.
That's awesome.
Sometimes Poodle Pants because
Daydreamer.
he had an allergic reaction and ate off all of his hair from like the back to his ankles, and then from his ankles down to his toes, it was all fluffy, so he looked like a poodle. So I called him Poodle Pants because he was naked from the waist down.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Artist, what was the name of your kitty?
Daydreamer.
Oh,
I love that.
My sweetie called him Dream Catcher, which both of those are really, I love them. So, you know, interchanged the name. But Daydreamer, the reason that, and I guess the person he was with before called him Klepto because he would knock, and I found out he did that once in a while. He'd knock stuff off but you know, I got him to knock it up on anything, but he would play with the weirdest stuff. But cats are daydreamers. You know what they're called? The cats are, I don't have to yell, sorry. Cats are crepuscular. You know the word?
We do, but you might want to say the definition just for some of our viewers. Not everybody's articulate.
One of the words, main words that comes out of crepuscular is creep. When you creep around, it's creed on.
Yeah.
Creepy.
That's, you know,
This cat's just creepy.
The crepuscular, they get up before dawn, right at that crack, and do their hunting, do their breakfast, and that's why they're called crepuscular. And daydreamer because, you know, cats, they're just like around maybe pounds, but they look like they're safe. So,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're totally like that.
I'm surprised this cat even likes me. He grew up with boys, like an all-male household. And then I come infiltrating in with my femaleness, and I'm just like, I'm the new bitch coming in. But he loves me because we have special snuggle time now in the morning where he comes and sits on my lap and then he just snuggles. So
Well, that's awesome.
we found our way. He still loves the guys more though, and I'm okay with that. I'm a dog person.
I was going to ask Artist a little bit more about that story about his mom. So, Artist, you were saying that she didn't tell you to turn it off. She told you to turn it down. And I just love that.
That's the way it was. You know.
You know what my grandma said when I brought a bass home with an amp? She said, "Thank God it's not a drum set."
Why
Because
not?
my dad came home with a drum kit. Well, guess what, Grandma? Your little girl's got a drum kit now.
Yeah,
But-
like that. The spoons were clanging, banging. I played ball.
Yeah, but
I sang, and I turned the record player up, and I would sing at the level of the singer. And I wasn't about the la-di-da singers. I mean, they had to belt. And so I'd sing, I would loud, you know, but those days I had the nerve to do it, you know. And
Like if you were in a shower kind of screaming,
no,
yelling?
in the bedroom with the record up, just in a window open. It didn't matter if the neighbors heard me. I didn't care. I just wanted to sing.
I sing my best voice in the shower, honestly, myself.
Well, and I have had the privilege of seeing you sing live, artists, and your voice is beautiful. I really love your voice.
Hands down, amazing. I've seen you perform several times too. I know. One of these days, artists, I got to get you out to one of my shows because I sing too now.
And where is that?
Lake Stevens on the other side of the peninsula.
Oh yeah, Lake Stevens.
And I'm in Swim, but I play shows in the city. Where are you at, artist?
Well, I'm in Paradise.
Yes, you are.
Also known as?
I'm in a dead end road that's 20 miles down a dead end road. Like Key West is about 100 and some miles down a dead end road on tour where they're surrounded with water. And I live in a place that's down a 20-mile long dead end road, and it too is all but surrounded by water. It's a peninsula.
Where at in the peninsula, though?
On the edge, on the northeast tip of the.
I'll give our viewers a little bit of a hint.
You don't have
No.
No, I'm only going to give our viewers. I'm only going to give our viewers one hint.
Here's the thing about Here's the thing about where I live. It has become a freaking destination. Have you ever been to St. Augustine, Florida? St. Augustine, Florida happened, you know, a lot of Florida was Art Deco, right? Then you go down to Miami Beach and there's all this, it's beautiful, right? These old Art Deco buildings. Well, St. Augustine is like that. And so it has become a destination, and it's just one main street, and it's just tourist galore. There's a difference between a tourist, a visitor, and a local, and I guess and include native.
Yeah.
The difference between a visitor and a tourist is that a tourist doesn't look in the peripheral. The tourist is always looking in their camera. They don't leave their front room. All they're doing is taking all these cameras and photos and stuff to show in their front room when they get back. They spend only a debt. Plastic is a debt. And when it's credit, that's a debt, and it's picked up at whatever percentage.
Two things. I'm going to give our viewers a hint. Officer and a Gentleman was filmed there.
Oh, no, don't. I don't need to tell everybody where I live.
No, that's an old film. Kids have to Google that shit.
I don't mind. Yeah.
And number two,
the thing is about Port Townsend and me is I can't diss it. I can't. I mean, I there's stuff that I can't stand. Tourists. I mean, I can't because.
Okay, but what if your family is a founding family of said town and you're a tourist? So are you a tourist or a native?
The difference between a tourist and a visitor is a tourist is only about themselves. They only think of going back, showing everybody. They spend they only go in and out stores and get all the knickknacks. Where a visitor comes in, shares their talent, stays with, without a departure date. They trade their talent. If they're a mechanic, they'll fix your car for you and such. And in any place, it's all foreign. They learn the vernacular. Like they learn that Port Townsend is a boat town and a mill town, and it's really been a lot of how you call it, autonomy, people with autonomy for years. And I'm not, what? who am I to talk? But honestly, but that's my view of lifestyle, of that lifestyle. And then, of course, the locals. And then, what am I going to bitch about? Why should I complain when my brethren, crackers, came roaring in here and pushed out, killed my other brethren, the natives that have been here, whatever, many hundreds of years. All of that was violent and aggressive. So,
Yeah.
It's unnecessarily violent and aggressive.
Can you make me another drink?
Purchase. So I kept on,
Can I
bitching.
tell you how to?
Whenever the conversation comes up, especially because of the difference between
This much soda.
Thursday. But our little community is not that people were walking along Good job.
So, artist, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I see that Maxwell's band, which is Max, says that he really loves your song "Telephone."
Oh, he does, huh?
As you can see, I have the power to show our views and what they say.
Have you got that on record? Do you have that CD?
I don't.
Yes, I do. You want to tell us a little bit about that song "Telephone"?
What was the lyrics that he said? I can't remember the song.
Telephone.
Telephone ear. Yeah, it's on my it's on my recent album, which was released a year ago. Not exactly a popular album, but I think you can find that. It's really, really nice album, and I think you can find the instrument accompanied song online if you don't want to buy this. I think you can find it at that Bandcamp site. I didn't put it up, but friends did.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to sing that for you? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, if you want.
Yes.
What was it?
If you want, you don't have to.
I was. But is that what you were doing? Is that what you were you asking me to sing it? I kept talking over you.
No. Someone had just posted on our chat room that they like your song "Telephone." I love that song. It's a great album.
Oh, it's a great album or a great song? You mean
Wait.
you have this album?
Please.
Please.
It says right here. Please sing.
It comes with the territory, and I ought to. And I like the only reason I even hesitate, of course, is because it's not on a stage. And there you go. You see the ego shining through there. No, it's okay.
You are an amazing musician. We do want to hear anything you have to offer.
I'll try to remember it. Now, let me get a sound check here. Am I breaking up? Have I been breaking up anywhere?
Every once in a while, we all break up, but right now it's clear. It's clear.
Right now it's really good, but every once in a while we all kind of have a little.
Right. And so, can you hear me?
Yeah.
And you can hear me. You can hear me clearly. So you can still hear me clearly.
I can still hear you clearly. Yes.
Okay. Let's hope I can remember, because I have not done any. I remember walking over here thinking, "Oh man, do not ask me to do anything. I don't even have my book, which I also have a book that published 25 years ago."
Are you eating donuts?
Popcorn, come on. That should have been one of the words too. I have no idea what your words were for drinking, and I'm almost out of my water.
Oh,
it was wicked, right on, and whatever.
Oh. Okay, well then, I guess I better take 3 swallows, huh?
God, blessed evil.
Okay, here we go. If I can remember, I hope I can.
I think I'm gonna have a stroke after this one.
Why am I always yelling out in anger instead of singing out with joy? Could it be it ain't me, but the planet that I'm walking polarity and gravity. Could it be I can't share these thoughts I'm talking before I know they're really me? Information flying at me like a light through the fibers of the nerve channels in my spine. Telephone here got me so far from here, I don't know my voice until I'm crying.
Hey, hey.
Always yelling out in anger instead of singing out with joy. Like that, and then it repeats.
Oh,
You got a weird sign. I don't know what this is. It's a little phone sign.
it says rock and roll.
Is that what it says?
No, it was just a telephone, like telephone.
It just says like a weird thing on me. But
That's
somebody
weird.
said, you love your sweets.
That's probably my sweetheart, just,
It's Max.
bumped
Hi,
and
Max.
Max. So what, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. What was it you said something was weird. What was weird?
I don't know.
You got us all shook up after that last song. Like, we don't even know what the hell's weird anymore.
I don't know.
Okay.
That
You
was
got us in that
beautiful.
song. You got us like jamming out on that song now.
I loved it. I loved it.
Oh my goodness.
And I actually got to see you perform that at the Fort Worden Brewery.
Oh my God. I love that place, by the way.
Really?
Love that place.
How did I do that? What was that all about?
Oh, let's see. It was last year.
Was that an open mic?
It wasn't. It was a show that you did with another musician, and they played guitar and banjo, I want to say.
2 other musicians?
I think it was just one other gentleman.
Huh.
And
Maybe
there was
was it banjo or fiddle?
oh, it was fiddle. It was fiddle.
Yeah, that was my brother. That was Crow.
That's great. Yeah. So I saw you too. Yeah.
Right.
Max says, yeah, fiddle. Oh my gosh. I guess I just paid attention to you, artist. Sorry.
Okay,
That's
so
what I'm wearing.
here's a dilemma. What's the difference
I'm wearing
between a
his shirt.
violin and a fiddle?
That's his handle is Hillbilly Willie.
Oh, that's his band shirt, like his musician's shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Max says
great.
Joe.
Okay, his name is
Joe.
Joe. Yes, Joe.
Crow.
Okay, but what's the
Crow.
difference between a violin and a fiddle?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Attitude.
I think it has to have to do with like the way you hold it, because a violin you're like this, and a fiddle you're just like whatever. Oh, by the way, whatever.
There you go.
Oh.
It's attitude.
Check your messages.
Messages.
Yes.
Oh, I'm in the show. Is this? No, that's not. I don't know where messages are.
No, I'm talking to Maxine.
So I got a private message that asked from a fan, why are you called Spoon Man? So tell us a little bit about your name if you would like.
Who gave you that name?
That sounds like a joke. Kindly put. Thanks for asking. I didn't do it. I played. I just played, and the next thing you know, it's artist the Spoon Man. I mean, I didn't do it. I'm not. I mean, I'm pretty vain. I am, and grandiose and such. But back in those days, I was probably just a lot more on the entertainment of, and I'm still on the entertainment of, but before I would just jump, boom, play. Anywhere, anytime, always had a couple in my pocket. But nowadays I sit in my room and whine and not wine, not drinking wine, but I sit in my room and pout about how nobody's calling me to put me on a stage anymore. And now it's been over a year. It's been 2 years since I've done like 5 shows. So now it's like I'm so used to doing shows and being introduced. I don't just up and play anymore. I'll play for children if I have a couple with me. I never, for whatever it was, 40 years, I never went anywhere without a pair of spoons somewhere or my whole kit. You know, no, I mean, like I didn't go out the door. I didn't go get groceries without spoons with me. And now I never carry it. It's a vain thing.
Musicians evolve though, like
Yeah,
I want to evolve into something else. Like maybe you sing
but I got
harp or
yeah, I agree. But I have to own the spoon man of me. I have to own it. I mean, I don't want you going out and you know, the world of the spoon man in some broken video or what have you. I want to quit the spoon man in this form, in this celebration of the spoon man. I don't know how to say it, but I've got a box set that I'm going to put together. I've already started with this one you just talked about and the CD, and I got a DVD or 2 to do and a book. And then I can say to you, you want to see the spoon man play here.
yes.
You know, that
Our fans want to know.
I am nothing like I was 25 years ago. So here it is, you know, and then I can go on. I'd like to be Toothless Jake. I'd like to be doing that. I don't, you know, without the spoons. I want to be.
You want to make it happen?
I want to be accepted as, you know, an entertainer, not a spoonful.
Well, good thing you are talking to the 2 right people for this job.
Yes.
So we are so deep in the music industry that, you know, we have shows weekly, monthly, at least. You are an icon.
We hear people.
You have been my idol since I'm going to say like 1992. You have been one of my idols. I saw you first at the Pike's Place Market in Seattle. Then you were on Spoon Man with Soundgarden, which was amazing because I was just like, I saw that guy. Yeah. Like, you have always been a hero to me. Back then, I was a bass player, but my interest has always been drums. And you can ask Maxine. I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer, heart and soul. But back then, I didn't have the confidence to play drums. But seeing you play live and just doing what you do on the spoons. Number one, I knew there was no way I could ever do that. But number 2, that just sparked my interest more into drums and percussion in general. So you were a huge inspiration to me becoming the drummer that I am today.
Well, an artist, Seattle hasn't forgotten who you are at all. You are an icon there, and
you're an icon.
People still wonder where you are and what you're up to, and that's you know, one of
we
the
want to know, where are you performing next? Are you still? I mean, everybody's going crazy. How many spoons? Okay, here we have from my. Okay, oh shit. So this is my bandmate Loki, who is my bass player, and he says, "How many spoons do you have?" I play spoons, but just have a couple I bought.
Loki.
That is my bass player for my band, International Punk Kings.
Tremendous. My sweetie, she might not like me calling her that, but her cat's name is Loki. Now I've blown her.
Oh, Loki, my brother.
So we got some of that cat in this show. We got a lot of cat in this show. So, Loki, I'll answer your question. What was it?
It says, how many spoons do you have?
Okay,
he said, but he placed the spoons and has a couple that he bought.
Right.
Loki, and let me say this before you answer this question. Loki, we're going to be talking about the spoons, brother, because you need to bring that shit to band practice, yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, Loki, the thing is, if you bring the spoons to band practice, say you bring the spoons to somebody else's band practice, or a couple of people bring you there, they're not going to think of you as a musician. They're going to like your stuff. I'm sure you play. And
I disagree. I disagree right there.
I'm not saying it's 45 years of knowing what I'm talking about. And it's been that long since the brothers I used to play in the parks with the drummers, hand drummers. And they'd invite me up to Capitol Hill. Hey, come up to this party we're having. And da-da-da-da-da. One after the other for a while back in whatever, 73 or 74. And then it was only to sit down in the front room and blow. And I haven't been invited to a room of just a musical get-together, not a practice, not anything more than just the party is. Musicians will be coming to the party, and we're just going to play. And somebody this and somebody that. And I'm telling you, man, I have not been invited to a musical party that there wasn't a desire to have these spoon. Oh, I know, bring the spoon player. And I'm not really meaning to diss anybody. I'm telling you the truth. I mean, like, what they'll do is like girlfriend here, she, like, bring the spoons. And I'm not saying you did anything to diss him, Crash. That isn't what I meant. What I'm saying is you're a bass player, as I understand. I don't know what you said, but I think
he's my bass player.
You're gonna be, your bass is gonna be wanted, and your spoons are gonna be, play for us, will you? But it's all gonna be novelty, and I'm really sorry, but that's it. And that's
I disagree, and I'm going to stop you right there.
No, wait. You can't disagree. I'm talking about living the life.
I've done this. I can absolutely disagree as a percussionist.
But wait.
You have a talent I do not have. I will never possess.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of that. I mean, I don't know. Bucky wasn't probably considered an architect or a
who's Bucky?
Yeah, he was a great mathematician. He was a great scientist. But people don't necessarily realize that he developed the dome. I mean, people just don't know that.
Oh, that was the
dad.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Well, I've got these songs and poems and stuff that a lot of people don't know. I get on this.
Architecture is different from musicianship.
So it's not really. There's not an argument there, Crash.
There is, though. Yes, architects and musicians are creating something amazing and one of a kind and beautiful. And spiritual comes from the soul, but at the same time, an architectural monument or building can only be appreciated by very, very few people.
So I wanted to bring this all back to
a musician who can play the spoons, who me as a drummer, I cannot do. I can't do it. I don't know how to hold them. I don't know how to do it. I don't know anything. So I have mad respect for you.
And that's where I wanted to bring it to. So because we have so much respect for you, artists,
yeah,
I value your opinion on how you feel about that. But I hope that you know that as your fan and your friend, that I appreciate what you do as more than a novelty, even if you don't see that. And I hope that you feel part of the musician community. And
I don't see him as a novelty. He's an icon.
Right.
He's an icon. He is somebody that I have always aspired to be as a kid, as a young adult. And now I'm almost 46.
So
I'm in his presence, and I still feel odd.
Let's go back to Loki's question
amazing.
About how many spoons
as a musician.
So, wait a minute. Am I correct when I talk? No. Is that what you said?
No. I just wanted to bring it back to Loki's question about how many spoons you play.
Yeah, me too. No, but I'm telling you what I hear. You know, crackly, and everything you say. Loki, I have so many spoons. I have hundreds of broken spoons. Hundreds of spoons I've played and they tone out, and that's the end of them. But I keep them, and I carry right now.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. I carry right now. I've
So
got
that brings me to my next question. Do you have a name for your spoons? Like, do they have names? Like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 to 14 spoons in this kit, but I also have 2 wooden spoons, 2 fiberglass spoons. I have sticks, I have a knife, and I have a fork, and I play them all. And so in this kit right here, I've got maybe 25 instruments, but half of them are spoons, and I play them tonally. And let me show you, Loki. When I used to, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you see me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So when I was first playing, and I got really strong in it, but I was much stronger than that, and I played hard all the time. I break them every few weeks or whatever, few months. And when I drop the spoon, hang on a minute. Look there. Whenever I drop a spoon, I'd be playing like this, and then I'd drop a spoon, excuse me, and it would hit another spoon, and I realized, wow, and then when it broke, and I'd be playing another spoon I found, and I drop it, I knew it sounded different than the one that broke. And then so I started, so those 2 spoons and all of these dozen I have, they sound different. So I pick them. I pick them out like that by sound, and yet so they do have different sounds. That's why I have several different spoons. But I would say this to you, and I've known this by my own experiences too. I've been playing steadily for, let's say, nearly 50 years, 48.
Wow.
And I mean, steadily, I've been playing steadily for 60 years, but I've been playing as a spoon man, entertaining people for about nearly 50. So, but what I'm saying to you is I don't buy them. I do not definitely don't spend more than $1 on a spoon, and it's changed. And Loki, I tell you, man, it is a hard search to find good spoons. Yeah, I'll show you the fork in a minute. I just want to be sure to answer your.
So this has been a playing sport.
So if you're gonna go buy some spoons, buy them cheap. Look around. I mean, one more thing, and then I'll bring this fork up too.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what do we got? And this. Okay, so Loki, I use stainless on the bottom because when I'm playing really hard, this is a stainless spoon. It's steel. It's mine. I have it to my specs. I mean, I found it and it really works for me. And of course, when I first started, they were little spoons, little teaspoons. But now this. Well, but the top spoons, this one, I don't know if you can tell, but it's not steel. It's not steel at all. It's it's metal. It probably has some iron in it. It's called alloy. You shop around for them. So the top spoon, I use, and I also like this shape for the top. Primarily, really, I think, but it doesn't really matter. If it sounds good, the shape doesn't matter. It's how it fits your grip. So
he says that he's experienced with different sizes and shapes that make different tones.
Yeah, that's right. You got that going on. I'm going to see you play. So here you go, Loki. This is pretty cool. This is really cool. I love this. I had a native friend, and we called him Chief, and he liked it at the time. His name was Bert, and that was like, again, 72 or so. And he said to me, he didn't do it or show me or a damn thing, excuse me, but he told me, hey man, play forks. And he was probably just ribbing me or something, but I thought, well, okay. And I was pretty, whatever. I've always been sort of got a vision and going towards that, and never mind anything peripheral. But anyway, he was a really good friend. So this is a fork, and this is a wooden spoon. Any kind of spoon will do. Well, we'll do the metal one first. And let me see.
Look,
That's
pay attention.
cool.
So,
Pay
but
attention, bro.
here, wait a minute. The wood works a lot better. Let me stand up and get in front of the camera here somehow.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Wow.
and then
Loki, I swear to God, if you don't get this,
it's all right. He'll get it. He get it on his own. He'll just make it up
I'm
himself.
kidding.
But thanks for asking, Loki, because and it's nice that what portion of the world do you live in?
Loki is in Puyallup, Tacoma area. He is my bandmate. He's my bass player.
So he's
My band,
some of these days we'll meet, Loki. I'll show you what I know. Let me.
Bro, did we hear that, yo, brother?
I mean, I try to. I got my attitude. Just like I was saying, I want to own my own and then give it away. And but all these years, all I've ever done is give it away. Somebody wants to know how I play. Well, show you how I play. I don't know. Why do I care? I mean, really, it's freaking spoon, and it's not business anyway. Shit, I made $15,000 twice, and one of it was because I had a heart attack. I've never made any kind of money. I didn't make that $15,000 on the spoon man. I mean, the song, that was a $7,000 hired hand playing girl. So, I mean, I don't make any money. I mean, I get by. Right now, I'm living on hanging myself in the Navy and 2 jobs I ever had after that. So, I mean, I had a job at post office for 2 years and a job in the Navy for 2 years. And that was enough Social Security at the time to give me a couple $100 to do. And then I hung myself in the Navy. They discharged me 2 months later, and 50 years later, I received some benefits. Now I get whatever, $1,200, I think. I get $1,400 a month. That'll set me up for the rest of my life.
But the moral of the story is that our government is taking care of you, right? I hope.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? I lived out years, and I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, without a stationary residence. I mean, in one vehicle or another, or hitchhiking down the road, or staying in people's front yard or backyard or something. And 20 years, and I love it. And I still own the bus I bought 32 years ago. And it's a 50-year-old bus. It's a 1968 International Wayne coach, and I drove it just a few months ago.
It's an international?
It's an international and engine. And Wayne coach, which is just one of the finest. It doesn't leak. It's 50 years old. It doesn't leak. Oh, yeah. So I haven't escaped, but that's living outside. You're that far, wherever that is. It's that far from the freaking outside. It's just that. That's as far as it is. Two thin layers of steel, but shelter. I got insulation and whatever. It's a place, and a lot of people don't have that much. So I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but I'm just saying, I was just following up on the fact that you're not going to make no money playing spoons. And if you do, more power to you. I've been to 30 countries. I've been on national TV in I don't know how many countries. And and then some young fellas just, saw me during their teens in the Pike Place Market and decided to make a song. They were, they were inspired by other people, but and so what a huge honor. What? How are you going to do that? I mean, how are you going to say anything about that? But,
Yeah.
So are these guys maybe from Soundgarden?
Yeah, the guys I'm talking about, sure. I mean, that kind of fame is one. But before them, I recorded with Zappa. I did the Letterman show. I did the Sanborn show. I performed with who all? Who all? I mean, I was already the Spoon Man, artist of Spoon Man, and
my bandmate says, Red, his spoons are shiny stainless, and he likes to play metalcore with spoons.
Hello. Oh, yeah. So, did you ever see me as a boy, or is this all your own imagination? Or any other spoon player?
I saw you as a young man. I was just a tiny teenager at that point. I feel like you.
You could answer, Loki. Go on. Sorry.
Oh,
that's Loki. I'm talking about me, my personal things with you. I saw you long before I ever saw you with Soundgarden. And then when I saw you on Soundgarden, I was like, oh my God, I met that guy. Oh my God. But that's when I realized what real percussion was.
Huh.
It's not just about hitting drums with sticks in a certain rhythm. It was rhythm in general and how it can come from so many different things, and you showed me that way.
So I just wanted to check in. We're about at an hour, and I wanted to see if artists wanted to share another song with us. Speaking of, his Soundgarden days.
Yes. What did you say?
Did you want to share a song with us again?
Are you gonna play?
Oh, is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You know what, listening audience? Oh, here we go. No, that's not. So, listening audience. Before we started, we were chatting like this for 15, 20 minutes before it went on the air, and doing the sound check kind of thing, making sure we could hear each other. And I knew I would have to play tonight, and and I am really, I would have to say embarrassed. And I have been for quite a while because I don't play. I never have just gone in and practiced, maybe way back when or something. But I played so much that I didn't have to. I didn't like practice to play Spoon Man or anything. Sorry, I don't need to go on. But now I haven't played in so long. I don't have those chops, and as people have brought to my attention, no matter how I feel I can be, my stamina is low. I'm 71, like I said, and which is like 25,800 and some odd days. That's so I am tired because I haven't kept up with exercise. But anyway, we did that soundtrack and a sound test, and one of the things I did was play Soundgarden. So okay, so
here we go.
It'll take me a minute to go back there, and as it's starting, I'll be getting ready, kind of picking up songs and such.
Totally okay, artist.
Okay, so
take your time. We're good.
Well, here it goes. Oh no.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Woo! Woo! Yeah.
So man. Yes.
You
Oh my goodness.
That was great.
My
Look at
mind
you.
was like blown.
I don't know.
Blown.
You're 71.
You were amazing. Oh my gosh, you were such an amazing musician. Like it just we lost second artist.
We lost connection. He'll come back.
Oh,
Oh, poor guy.
Maxine, you want to send him a message saying that he can join in on the same one that's being broadcasted right now.
Absolutely. I'll call him right now, in fact. Oh my gosh, that was so freaking amazing.
My mind is blown, dude.
Yeah, he killed it, man. It was
Blown.
great.
I'm not even kidding on this. This is a really bad time for him to here we go.
Oh, sweet.
I was trying to shut off the
No,
the
it's
music.
okay.
The sound run thing, and I clicked the wrong screen or
Oh,
whatever.
you did great. You did great reconnecting. Good job. I was just giving you a call to be like,
I saw that, yeah.
Oh my gosh, artist, that was mind blowing. Thank you. That was just so beautiful. You have
Thank
so
you.
much energy and passion when you play.
Thank
Thank you.
Used to.
I
Thank you.
still do.
Thank you. I thank you very much.
So I was gonna, talk a little bit about. I don't know if you saw my Facebook post, but my husband Max, he tagged us on a Facebook post from 2015 when we were busking in the street together, and that was a year ago as of yesterday. So yesterday was 4 years ago that we
a year ago or 4 years ago.
It was 4 years ago.
Yeah, we played out there on the sidewalk next to the fountain.
Yes.
The deli fountain, whatever it's called. Ice
Yeah,
cream
yeah,
soda
yeah.
fountain.
Yep, right
Huh?
there.
That was like 4 years ago.
That was 4 years ago.
No,
Yeah.
no. Whatever.
It doesn't feel like that long ago. We have to get out there again, my
Oh,
friend.
no, I can't believe that. It's that's not. I mean, that says that what's his name? Is it Max or
Yes, Max.
your old man? That means that we were associated, if you like, more than 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yes. Yeah, time flies, my man. Like,
Like an arrow.
oh
Fruit-
yes, yes.
Fruit flies like a banana.
So yeah, we've known each other for a little while, and it's a privilege to know you. It's a privilege to be your friend.
No, it's a privilege to know you. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just wanted to ask you to share some stories about your busking days, because I know that you love to busk. I love to busk too. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the first paying gig I ever got, I was busking in Westwood, in the UCLA area of Los Angeles, and somebody came up to me. I was just busking out there. I don't remember it very well, but I was busking. And guy came up to me, or gal, I don't remember, and asked me if I would do a gig at the Barn, was the name of it, coffee house venue on campus at UCR, and that's where I was staying. My sister lived in Riverside, University of California, Riverside, and my sister lived there. That's why I was, I was down there visiting her. So sure, why not? So that's one of the things. I mean, Steve Vai passed me one of those days. After I played with Zappa, and he recognized me. I was playing down there at the market. And he invited me to his show. I didn't go for whatever reason. I don't remember. But busking. I mean, those are just, I'm sorry, that's just name dropping. Busking, man. Busking is the most admirable form of entertainment there is, period. Stand out, all together. It's the most honorable. It's the most admirable. It's the one without cover charges. It doesn't segregate your audience. On and on.
Right.
Screw all the other modes of entertainment. I mean, bless everybody, whatever. That isn't what I mean, but kick ass, do it. But you don't have to pay to watch the same damn people, and they have. There's some monsters out there, and the thing about busking is if you're not at least an entertainer or a monster, if you're not getting it on, well, go ahead, go wave a flag or something. You're not going to make much of a living. You're going to have to someday. So those who don't like a busker, you guys, what? Walk by. You don't have to be telling me how screwed up that guy was or that gal because they didn't know the words. Who cares? They had the nerve to get out there and play for you. No, I'm very, very, very adamant about busking.
Okay.
Busking is honorable.
I don't mean to interrupt here, but my bandmate Loki says, "Sorry, artist, my device confused me for a second, but that was very good stuff. The Spoon Man is the first song that he heard spoons in and got intrigued by you, artist. It was you that inspired my bandmate."
The fans have spoken.
Excuse me.
Those are my bandmates, dude. So you're.
Hey, yo, Rocio, what do you think of this?
Inspired my music, like literally, because that's my bass player.
No, thank you. I've had all these years. I've had the finest. I can't imagine if. I mean, I can't imagine another. A compliment that would top all the. I mean, like there is no top. That's all you have to say, stinker.
Aww.
Critique. Oh wait, I'm reading what I thought was somebody else comment, and no, it's the same thing was there when I first says you're on the show. In the show, that I thought there was somebody writing that. Anyway, you know, busking is it. Man, you can't busk. If Jagger can't busk, then what are we watching his show for? I mean, but he is great. No, I mean, and he has busk. Him and Keith. I just got that book today. My friend down at the food bank gave me. He looked through the library and he found Life, that Keith Richards autobiography. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, okay. Two things. Artists, you have inspired my bandmate beyond belief. He wants to put together a band with a banjo and tub bass with him on spoons and an accordion.
Yeah, that sounds real good, Loki. That's I like that banjo, tub, and accordion. That's great because the accordion is an offshoot from a percussion. And
right, but Loki, who are you getting on that tub bass, yo?
This is all slap. Oh yeah, the tub bass. So that's great. Spoons would just be great with that. What was the other accordion, the bass?
Banjo.
Banjo.
Oh, Loki, you got imagination. When are we gonna meet? We got to meet. It'll happen. I'll be gone for a week to Texas in a few days, and I'll be back. But let's you can find all my contacts on the internet. So yeah, keep in touch, Loki. That's you're fun.
That's my bass player in my band, International Pumpkins. I'm so honored to have him as my bass player.
Well, that's really cool.
I love Loki.
It sounded like you were going to start talking about the book.
Book.
Yes.
Oh, you mentioned an autobiography, so I wanted to bring it back to that.
Well, that's
God damn it.
That's under the direction of Osio, and we have to go through. Oh yeah, I was telling you I have like boxes of paper I've just put there. I've got paper from when I was 10. I've letters and cards and stuff I've saved, and then there's the flyers for the shows I've done and the posters for the shows I've done. And I've got all of this. It's such a huge. It's all in this room actually, and but I can't. I burn it before I could even try to go through it. It blows my mind.
Oh yeah, it's so much. Yeah.
So yeah, it's way too much for me. But I have somebody who will has started going through it for me and helping me organize it so that I can go through it organized. Oh well, let's go through this. This is performing with busking, and then here's a little thing about how you the troubles you've been in, or the people that whatever you don't like, and whatever, on and on. These little boxes of categories that help me separate the topics and such. This is the first person I've had help me, and it's been like 30 years that I've been wanting to do this, and I haven't done it alone. So there's no telling how much longer it would take. I have a book that I did do. It was a book of poetry where I did some of what I'm talking about now. I did a little bit about the history of how I evolved from playing spoons as a boy. But and then I had a little demonstration, or whatever you call it, a page with artistic depictions of me playing this way and playing that way, and but and then a couple of long short stories.
I don't know.
This,
Tried to attend that.
this day,
But like when he was recording with them.
I think that was really necessary what you started to show out with. And I don't think to diss those who don't, because they don't go there. They don't for a reason. We all do and don't whatever we do for a reason. It can be brutal if it's brutal. It's not always brutal. It's less brutal people in the world by far than there are those who are. But I wanted to put in this perspective, since it's broadcast, that I was I had just turned 50. I was 50, whatever young at the time, and I remember, since I've got all of this, I've got military history, I've got activist history. I very dear. I've met mercenaries that I befriended. I met, and I had been to the towers, and I actually have a real one particularly fond memory of the tower that I was in, and that was a John Miro tapestry. It was huge. It was huge. It was like this thick, and then it was huge in, like, I don't know, 12 by 8 feet or something. And it was just this fabulous textile, and just knowing that parish is somewhat of an icon, because I don't know, in all of these years, I haven't determined if I knew a particular person that may have died in those moments, but I remember my own.
And this is sent from my bandmate Loki.
Wait a minute, Loki. Wait a minute. So when I heard about it, and I didn't even bother. I didn't have a television. I haven't had a television in 40 years or more. But so I didn't try to find the videotape of it. I saw it eventually, months and months later, maybe years. But when I heard about it, my thoughts I remember very well, because of course I heard it on a newscast, and there was all the appropriate trauma. I remember thinking, this is shocking and ultra tragic, but it's not a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people, even listening to this, and you can categorize who you think is listening, think that I just insulted. I think that there is insult, but it's not like I insulted or they insulted. There is insult in that concept. There is insult. To not be surprised that a nation would be attacked. And that attack on this nation, people don't talk about how it was very successful.
It was successful, and it was
very successful. If we look at
it was so many words that I can't even put into context. That this very day,
economy is what it
18 years ago. And it's weird to say 18 years ago, but it was 18 years ago that this horrible act has happened on the United States and us as a people.
But that's not the point. That isn't the point, because when there have been such devastations as Dresden and the bombings of London, and the 2 bombs in Japan, or the 2 devices, they're not bombs, they're nuclear devices. When you start comparing what goes on in the world, and for that matter, Syria and Afghanistan and so on and so forth, places I haven't been, places I don't know the crux of, and I don't pretend to, nor do I pretend, I don't mean to pretend that I know anything about the towers, but the tragedy and the drama and the trauma are understood. It doesn't need to be broadcast or spoken about. I mean, it's just like duh.
The devastation has been felt for decades now.
But it is just, excuse me, not just, but it is another huge tragedy in the world of humanity. And
Yeah.
Agreed. I cannot agree with you so much with that. Like, it's brother against brother at this point. It doesn't matter where in the hell we are in the world. We all bleed the same. We all cut the same. We all bleed red. We all have thoughts and feelings about our loved ones.
Right. Well, and something that I reflect on, that it is September 11th, is how something tragic united us as a people, and now almost 20 years later, we're not as united anymore, and that saddens me.
And I have to say, like, I spent some time on Facebook today, and one of the posts that I saw was, we need to remember this day like it was fresh, like it just happened. We forgot all those people. We forgot all of the fucking craziness. Sorry for saying the F word. One time. But I'm really sorry for, like, all of the horrible things that, like...
There are a lot of people who don't forget and think about it.
So many people died from that.
The celebration is every year.
So many people. When I went to New York, it was just abandoned cars in... parking lots that would have been subways, because subways don't start out as subways, they start out as trains.
You said something at the beginning that was about who we were all united when it happened, and then
that was the only time that the United States has ever been united.
I don't see that. I'm sorry, I don't see that. I think that
there's
a dynamic. It's a dynamic. I do believe the thing is, what we're doing right here is a medium that has in very, very much, depending on how informed and the focus of the topics, all I knew about, the towers is I was in one before it came down. They came down, and I don't even know if I've been in that neighborhood since, but I've been to New York.
I have.
The whole thing, all of that, what is today's, it's not a celebration, it's an annual recognition. But the whole thing there is it's one more item. We can see that it was relatively few people, and those could be thousands. It could be 1,000 people involved in that whole thing, or it could have been 15. Every bit of information I've received is through a medium that has a line of control and command up to the point where the person presenting the news, if you like, is being told what to present, how to present, even the tone of their voice, and how to look into the camera, which pictures to show and which not to show. And that comes way back from the billionaires that own the
network, brother.
So every bit of information that I've received on that subject does not endear me to it. And that doesn't matter. Endearing, I mean, it doesn't give me deep information. So I don't sit around and suss or expect that I have any. As far as us being whatever brought, there is no such thing as everything. I know I'm tangential, but just let me get back to this. Everybody. Well, if you're talking about everybody who has ever lived and died, and the 7-some billion people that are alive today, that is everybody. There's only one thing everybody has in common in all of history of humanity. One single thing: their first breath. Period.
Oh, beautiful.
And their last.
That's
their
it.
first and
That's
their
the
last.
only thing any of us have in common. And
It's
for us
their
to
first
be
and last breath. It doesn't
medium
matter how you take it.
that's so
Your
controlled
last breath is always going to be the same.
for for what that and what I said, but you could choke on your first breath and not live again any longer. But that's not. I don't mean to argue. What I mean is that so all of our perspectives, if they're issued by one, if we're all sitting in one room watching CBS or what have you, that's that information is way limited. I'm sorry. So the information I've gotten and I've received about the towers or the atomic devices, in Japan or anywhere, those are bits of information that I don't have an intimacy with. So I can't such it. So what I was saying is, you said, Max, that that we were all something to that effect. That America or U.S. was united after that, and then 18 years later we're not. No, I disagree completely. I don't think that it united us. I think it just made us more attention to the drama and the terrible tragedy. But that's all. I mean, it gave us attention. There were so many people that would have just ignored it, and there were those who were traumatized. I mean, there's just so many perspectives that a lot of people didn't even know about it for years later. They just didn't pay attention to the TV or radio. And so humanity, in my estimation and observation, is much too complex to think that single events or groups of people represent the whole in that theme of activity. I'll finish here. Or at least I'll end this topic. I don't think that there's even a comparable percentage of egregious people in the world compared to those of us who we might be, doing something. We have a trade to build houses, or we're a mom taking care of an ill baby, or we're a general in freaking South and Central America. There's no central theme that unites us. So I think that the egregious people of the world, I've held in my arms more people than most. I have hugged thousands of people.
Right on.
All right.
And
I've been in the company. I have befriended mercenaries. I've been in the company of people who killed other people. I've been in the company of druggies that got killed, murdered. I mean, these are extremes of that. Yeah. But I cannot remember the most egregious person I ever met. And that's because they're insignificant, except for a single drama. They're insignificant compared to you and me and her and him and the baby. And I mean, when you got 7 billion people alive, do not go there. Do not go there. These people are us. We are alive. That's all. And most of us can't care about the world halfway around. We can't. How can we? We only have a television for information, and that we get tired of. You got to turn it off, and then therefore, boom, there went that information. Who cares what's going on in Mongolia? How can you? It's not about dissing it. It's not. I don't mean to say who cares and then be sarcastic. I mean, who can care? So anyway, I don't get pissed at people that aren't political. I don't care. I really don't care. She's got to take care of that sick baby. God damn it, she doesn't have to vote.
Yeah.
And if her vote is not voting, if you're not taking up my mind is if you're not taking up a goddamn gun, and I have, that may be, some form of murder is pretty awful. And that needs to be tended to.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things that just doesn't matter if that person's paying attention to this show or whatever's going on in Washington, D.C. or whatever.
Yeah, that's heavy stuff, man. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
You are so awesome.
Well, I wasn't up to it. God, I read it.
No,
It's difficult to read, but
I hate to to say this, but we need to get to music news.
okay.
Yeah.
So I will update us on the music news, and then we'll get
Music news.
Okay, so artist, do you read the Peninsula Daily News?
No, I don't read a whole lot of newspaper anymore, but no, I know the paper.
So I read the PDN this morning, and it said in the entertainment section that David Lee Roth, the singer of Van Halen, will be having a mini residence in Las Vegas. He'll be stationed at the House of Blues, and that will be at the Malindi Bay Resort and Casino. He will be performing January 8th to March 28th, 2020.
Wow.
Well, that was in our local paper. I thought that was really interesting. I read the paper every morning, and I try to look.
January 8th. Whose birthday is January 8th?
January 8th.
Yeah, he would be called, I think, the flamboyant. Yeah, kind of like, not what I would call the king. I wouldn't call him the king of rock and roll, but he was the heavy. It's Elvis's birthday.
Oh, that's Elvis's birthday? That's awesome. Thank you. I will try to remember that, and it will probably be something that I highlight around that date when we do our show in January. So as of today on loudwire.com, Montana police blast AC/DC to clear bison off the highway.
Say that again, please. What? I'm sorry.
Montana police blast AC/DC music to clear the highway of bison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can check that out on Facebook.
Like chicken shit bison. They should have rocked to it. I just
I'm over here just making faces like, ooh,
oh, ACD.
But it's all amazing. It's all amazing.
So the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office Facebook page has pictures of this. I was hoping they had video. I can't find any video of it, but they say that they blast the AC/DC song Hell's Bells. And I was like, to clear bison off the highway, why wouldn't you use Highway to Hell?
Or have Hell's Bells sing it instead of AC/DC.
Yeah, Hell's Bells. They're a killer girl group, man. I love those girls. So the last thing that I have for music news is the state of California has passed an AB 5 bill through the Senate, which seeks to give regular employee benefits to individual contractors and freelance workers. This could apply to musicians.
Oh, shit.
The music industry will be directly affected by this because that means compensation for independent artists, including record labels, roadies, and even studio engineers.
Okay, but what about the musicians themselves? You talked about everybody but the music. What do we get?
So I said the independent artists themselves. That would be musicians.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Will entail a minimum wage and basic employee benefit, and this bill is effective as of September 13th this year.
Where is that?
You said minimum wage.
Isn't that a Friday?
So this is in California.
California.
Okay, but what's the minimum wage?
I haven't researched what the minimum wage in California is. However,
It's the same minimum wage for everybody. So.
there is controversy with this on both sides with musicians because they're afraid that this will push people out of the music industry and into the underground more so. And that I'd have to do more research on this, but I was talking with Max about it, and we were wondering if the musicians had to be signed with a label in order to get compensation.
You know what? That's a great question.
Yeah, it's all great. It sounds good. On loudwire.com, my source for this, they sound completely against it. They're trying to encourage people to call in so that this doesn't happen in their state. Even though it is in effect, they're trying to fight it because they're afraid that they won't be able to compensate a saturated market.
Are you serious?
But you know what?
You want to talk about saturated market? Come to Seattle. That's
And
a
I think it's
saturated
awesome
market.
because we've been talking about the revolution of music and how artists need to be compensated for their work, because it's a job, you guys. Like, it's fun, it's a career, but
It
it's
costs us a lot of money to do every
Right.
damn show every weekend.
right. So I
Not-
just thought
and I'm talking hundreds of dollars. I'm not talking 10, 20, $50.
I want to answer eventually. I want to answer Russell's question. So when you're through with the music, Russell's got a question here about Zappa, and I want to answer it for him.
cool.
Go ahead.
Okay, he's sitting right here with me, actually. So bring it on.
Are you through with your report?
Yes, I'm done. That was
Yes.
all I had. Thank you, Arden.
Well, I mean, I still have some like music history, or not music history, your neck of the woods stuff. Can we go in, because we only have a half hour left?
Hang on, Russell. I'll get to you.
Can I please like tell what shows are going on in our neck of the woods?
Yeah, go.
Okay, so we have Stoned Evergreen Travelers, Juliet Tango, and Tremor Cats at the Y Sports Bar in Tacoma Saturday. We have, I'm sorry, this is going to take a minute. We have the West Side Music Fest Customer Appreciation Day, and that is in Spokane. We have Make Your Own Judgment Tour, and that's Checkerboard Bar in Spokane on Sprague. We have Vinny and Dime, and that is Saturday 28th, and that's on Colfax Avenue at 17-99999 West Colfax in Denver, Colorado, or Golden, Colorado. Whatever, Denver, Golden, same thing. We all know it.
No.
So I have to put a big shout out for my friends Darklight. They have been around for a very long time, and I'm excited to say that they are opening up for Sins and Sinners, Debbie Blackout, our good friends, and Prelude to Pistol, and that is October 26th. That's all ages at Louis G's. Friday the 13th, we have the Green River Thrillers, which is Detonator, Claw, and The Deception. And that is at the Daryl's Tavern in Shoreline.
Cool.
We have Saturday night, November 9th, Rain, Light, Fade, Rain and Wonder CD release at Tony V's. We have them Mike Motley and the Shenanigans, my friends of Twisting Fate at West Side of Hope, and Tremor Cats at the Mirkwood for $8. My friend Jack Middleton is opening up for Jeff Bates at the Alibi. I have no idea where that's at.
It's in Elma.
It's in Elma, I hear. We have US 3R, Animal Slide, Keith Urban, and Lonely Together at the Mirkwood, Saturday the 21st. Wasteland. We have Kryptonesia, Spiderface, Pill Brigade, Holies, The Adverse Effect, and DJ Savick playing the Roadhouse September 28th. Baby and the Nobodies is rocking T-Town at the Tacoma Tavern. Let me check real quick what date that is. October 11th. So we want to definitely do that. The Disco Cowboys is doing their 10-year anniversary at the substation with Shivering Denizens and Darcy Carson on Friday the 13th.
Nice.
Hold on, I got a couple more. Metal Cross Productions hits the Airbus with heavy rock. And we are talking. I try to do this all cool, but like.
No, it's good. You're good.
So we are talking the Deadbeat Blackout, somewhere in between, and Six Gun Quota. And let's not forget that this very Saturday, the night after Friday the 13th, Fatal Butterfly, my band.
Yeah.
The Maxwell's, Maxine's band, and my friends from Gravitas are going to be killing it on the stage at the Mirkwood. I understand that the show starts at 4, but let me tell you, from 4 to fucking close, it's going to be endless music.
And
You
it's gonna be
want
awesome.
to get there early. You want to get there early because the best bands, we come early. We gotta start the shit because we gotta let the good bands like reign. But it's always us unheard guys that never get the spotlight that we're always owed.
Hey, Crash, I got a couple too.
Yes, please do. Please.
Grace from Primary Paul says that they'll be at O'Malley's this Friday, the 13th, from 9:30 to 11:30 p.m.
And I forgot that. I'm sorry, Grace.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I got them. And let's see. We've got Coley. He is with the Black Experience Talent Showcase Saturday, September 14th, 8 p.m.
Coley.
And that's at Gloria's Bar and Grill in Tacoma, Washington.
That's my homeboy right there.
And let's see, I've got the Scoffs will be playing with the Stuntmen. It's an all ages show at the Charleston, and that will be on October 5th.
And the Charleston is in Bremerton, Washington.
And that's what I've got for our neck of the woods as well.
Me too.
So Russell.
Right, so it's 8:39. We have more questions to ask.
Russell Wilson asked me, how was Frank Zappa when you recorded with him?
Yes, tell us about Frank Zappa, artist.
Wait,
Well,
when did you say
he
that?
was he suffered no foolishness. But he did. He was very, very to me, he invited me. His wife said he invited me, and they went to his place.
Yeah.
To the studio downstairs and his home, the UMRK, Utility Muffin Research Kitchen. I was there for about 2.5 hours, or 2.5 hours of recording and another hour and a half upstairs. And he was very cordial. Nothing anxious or angry or theatrical about him. He was very cordial. He treated me like a gentleman. And I had closed 2 shows for him 20 years earlier, or 10 years earlier, 1981, and one in Eugene at Mac Court, and then the other at the Palladium in Manhattan. And then this was, the recording was in 1992, the year before he passed. But he was already in pain, because when I left, he was seated, and I hugged him, and he winced. But I didn't hug him hard, I don't think.
Oh.
But anyway, but his whole demeanor was pretty much like I'm being right at the moment. It wasn't excited, and it wasn't condescending. And it was, for me, it was just wow. It was just not. It wasn't all exciting and wow. It wasn't wow. But it was like being with you, I'm sure, also.
Okay.
in your house?
I
Thanks
guess
for the
we.
question.
Really?
Oh, and what we recorded there, he put on the ninth track on disc number 2 of
Yep. I don't know where the rest of it is. I looked around in the background.
Civilization Phase 3. Civilization Phase 3. And it's the ninth track on disc 2. It's called Everything Is Wrong. And it's 6 seconds on the Maestro's last album released while he was alive. I think. Then one other album, Dance Me This, was released just before his wife died. I don't remember how many years after he passed. But anyway, so the name of the song is It's All Wrong. And I've got 6 seconds playing spoons and directly after that, you'll probably recognize what you know what a rain stick is. Right? It's it's a bamboo with a bunch of beats inside a rock with rice falling like water. Anyway, so that was my.
Why would it fill that way up? I've had that stuff before.
Okay.
Oh, I think our connection's going.
Our connection is a little spotty right now.
We got it back. We got it back.
So Anthony just got home, and sad thing. You remember my hematite thumb ring?
Yes.
They found half of it in the band room, and
Oh,
two
I'm sorry.
half of it. And because it was hematite, we all know that it was very fragile in the first place. So,
I had a couple of rings from my grandmother. They broke.
cheers to my hematite thumb ring. I'm very sad about that.
It sucks.
So let's see. We're at almost about 15 minutes left.
We're 15 minutes till time.
Well, and I just wanted to ask artists to share one of his favorite stories about, his music experience.
Agreed.
Okay, I'm thinking if you lower your voices, that might not rattle it so much. I don't know. Question?
I cut my mic off, so that'll help with the echo.
What was your question, Max? You just
My
asked.
question was, what is one of your favorite stories from being part of, music, being a musician?
Oh.
I know you have a lot of stories. It's hard to narrow it down.
Difficult, but to think of it, I can tell you what came to mind first. What came to mind would be a litany, but if you put the litany all together under one caption, I must say, I absolutely must say, if there's a word for my memory and my joy in it, it absolutely has to be busking. Absolutely. I busked in Turkey. I busked in London.
I love
I'm sorry. I can go on and on.
I swear to God, the three of us, we need to busk.
Busking is so totally all these memories, I could go on dropping names and such. But
We're gonna bust together, the three of us, just the three of us.
a lot of people have had me sit in. I can go on about Aerosmith and Dr. Hook and Ramblin' Jack Elliott and Pete Seeger and oh man, I mean on and on. Sitting on stage, playing on stage with Vassanville and Kirk's band behind me, playing for Pharaoh, playing. I did a radio show with Rudy Valley. the singer he was famous for megaphone, singing through a megaphone in the 1919s,
Okay.
the 19 teens. I did a radio show with him back
Wow.
in 78. So I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on. I mean, it's a very charmed life in my as the Spoon Man part of me. And the rest of my life, I've had some horrible tragedies. Horrible tragedies I wouldn't wish on the president or anybody else. Um, and, Meaning that I think the current so-called president is one of the enemies that I have, if you like. Not that it matters, but so I've had an incredibly charmed life. It's just amazing with a pair of freaking spoons. I mean,
Cool.
that's just amazing. It is amazing. And what am I supposed to say? I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm really saying that here's some freaking human being out of billions who managed to get by with pennies at times. I drove a bus across the goddamn nation, Florida to Texas, on pennies. A gallon of pennies is about $60. And that was back in whenever. And one of the people I picked up hitchhiking, had no idea of my funds. As he left, he handed me a 20. You know, I mean, it's like those kind of stories that go on and on and on and on and on and on. I mean, we had to sit and talk like Miss Sweetie and I. We sit and talk, and all these stories come out. But we try to write them down and fulfill them. I mean, there's a lot more to that bus trip, and all the other bus trips I could talk about, and on and on and on. So I'm very, very fortunate in that. And I'm also really dysfunctional.
I think we all feel that way, artists.
You see, there's something I completely disagree with.
Absolutely.
No. The
Absolutely.
only thing we have in common, the only thing we all, whoever we all may be, now it may be us in this little realm, that may be, but when you say we all, you're talking about all humanity. The only thing we have in common is our first breath. First breath, period. That's it. There's nothing else that much alike about us. You don't have it. The thing about dysfunction in my mind is if we're walking along with three of us, we're walking along and we all stub our toes. And one of us says, "Oh, no, that hurts." And the others say, "Fuck, God damn it." It's a lot different. The one who can say how much it hurts and it hurts us all the same, who can recognize the pain, ingest the pain, just as painful as anybody else's, but functionally address it. Or those who don't. There's just that's a difference. It's not a I'm not criticizing any of it. But there are functional people, and most of us, like myself, I'm very dysfunctional. I've done some pretty awful things in my life. You know that other people don't all do that. Some people who are raised functional, they still stub their toe, they still hurt. Somebody may hit them or whatever, or leave them or hurt them or whatever, but may or maybe not. They may be extremely rich in the way of money or living under a bridge. It doesn't matter. That doesn't make them functional or dysfunctional. There are functional people in the world, and you don't know them when you see them either. So it's not everybody. Not.
And with that being said, artists, do you have any advice to people who want to, have a career in music or play an instrument or, be a musician themselves? Can you enlighten us on any advice you might have?
Oh, I just think that this Spoon Man, the Spoon Man that I managed to create is evidence in himself of what people can do in the way of music, even if they're not a musician. You can blow a ox horn and be really, 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 really effective with it. Learn how to play a harp in an orchestra, a timpani. There's an instrument for you. I love the timpani. Ever sit and just listen to a timpani? Oh my God. That's
yes,
like
I used to play. I played timpanis. Yeah.
But I do have something to say about I do have something to close with in my mind.
Sure.
But it came from Zappa. And he was asked in his last interview, you can watch it out there. He was asked, what did he want to be? How did he want to be remembered? We don't care about remembering. Who's remembering us after we're dead? What do we care? What do we care? I mean, really, what do we care? I mean, in fact, what do we care about how we're disposed? I have said, I'll just burn what's left that they couldn't use in the freaking hospital or whatever in the science room. Burn it and dump it in a dumpster. That would be so cool. I mean, yeah, what the fuck?
I'm back, guys. Sorry. Interweb.
You know who it matters to? The asshole that's in the goddamn White House. It matters to him.
Wait. So this is what Loki has to say. I'm going to show real quick. It says a deal like that means we'd lose our flat rates as for gigs, and we'd be paid that minimum wage and get even more ripped off.
So, Crash, we were talking about the advice that he had to leave for,
Say that again.
I'm just going to put what my family had put.
I got you, but since we only have a few more minutes.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So Loki, thanks for you're stuck with us 2 hours. You're good. So tell me, if you can remember that last question and ask people, if you asked a question or you made a statement, I want to respond to everybody who wrote. And there's no, anyway, it's nice that 2 or 3 people listen to this. That's beautiful. And I am really, this has been a joy for me and you two to have you, for whatever reason, invite me on this is, gosh,
and just not notice that just because we have only 5 viewers now doesn't mean that we don't have more viewers later. We are worldwide.
No, I was just
time are different.
I know. I was only being silly. I really meant I was being grandiose. Actually, I was saying that because I've been thinking, there's 2,000 people out there watching us. To be honest, I'm just another vain person. I try to get over it. I'm 71, but I want to know myself. I know I've said that over and over again. The reason I say it is because I don't want you expecting this 50-year-old or 25-year-old rocker playing spoons. I can if I play a lot. I can still play, but I'm self-critical, and then I think it's okay for me.
You're amazing. You are amazing. You took my breath away again. I can't tell you how many times you have taken my breath away. But you're pure, just like I consider myself a percussionist, but at the same time, you are on a level I will never be on as a percursionist with
that's just because you'll never be a fool. You have more control.
You're right. I will never be cool. I will never be cool like you, yo.
You know
what? Like I feel like, hey guys, time out.
Nate's a fool.
I feel like my level of cool, it just isn't your level of cool on this.
He said fool, Tony. F fool.
I don't, I also don't think vertical.
I know I have a lot of guys.
I've talked to people who, I was once a peer counselor for a very brief period, a few months, but like Nate knows. But I don't think vertical. I don't. I can't. I try not to, and I don't. It's not somebody at the top of the freaking measure, whatever they are, and us being subjects below. It's really on a level. It's on a level. It's, if you like, lateral. I mean, who isn't? I mean, I know it's really cliche, but who the fuck isn't equal when we're so fucking different? So
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, I did that now. I did the bomb.
So,
But level.
Sorry, Anthony.
Now, I don't have anything left to drink.
Band practice.
Anyway, that whole idea from the top down is has got to be eliminated again, because it wasn't like that throughout human history. It can't be. We wouldn't have survived. We had to help each other all along.
I
So-
totally agree. Oh my gosh, I totally
We
agree.
still do. And
We
it's
need to help each other more in this industry.
well, that's why we started this show too, because we wanted to highlight, talented artists from all over the world, including
Especially
You
the
can't prove it by me.
unsigned,
course you
artists, people that are busking on the streets, people that go to unpaid shows where they get paid in drink tickets or like maybe $5 if they're lucky. That's who we want to represent. We
Yep.
want to represent those guys.
we want to help little guys.
In this industry, just like you guys do. Like,
Yes.
ugh. But at the same time, like, we have the biggest respect for the people who have made it. Like you. You have made it in my eyes.
And we want you to know that you feel inspire us.
You have always been like an icon, an idol to me.
Oh, isn't that something?
Yeah.
Since I was a kid.
That's
Since
really
I was
amazing, because I spend my whole days dissing me. I'm always afraid. I'm
30
afraid to
years
step
ago,
out.
28, 27 years ago. So almost 30 years ago, you artists changed my life. So to interview today is a huge compliment in my life. Like,
It's an honor. Thank you so much.
it's an honor. You are not a novelty in this industry. You are an idol. You are an icon.
Well,
You are somebody to be looked up to in this industry. We all know it. We all talk about it.
I just one thing more that I would say to people, adults, when you're talking to a 4-year-old, stoop. I'm not joking, and I'm not metaphor. When you're talking to a 4-year-old, do not look down at that 4-year-old. Damn it. You, whoever the hell you are, every adult in the world, you stoop and you talk right into the eyes of a 4-year-old and you listen and you stoop.
Listen, definitely listen.
But
You
you stoop.
listen to that kid.
That 4-year-old look up at you. You
Arden,
stoop.
thank you. That was beautiful. That's
Thank you so much, artists, for being on our show tonight.
Well, thank you so much.
I know you have changed my life. You have changed my life in so many different ways. I can't even explain to you. To be interviewing you
That's
is such a pleasure of mine.
pretty one. Sayonara. Matane.
all right, everybody.
All right, guys, thank you for joining Musicians Hangout again with artist The Spoon Man.
I'll have
And
to
we would
watch
like
that
to say good night and thank you for joining. Artist,
Thank
are
you.
there
Good
any
night.
last words?
Huh?
Are there any last words before we wrap it up?
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
No, okay.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Thanks,
night.
everyone, and thank you for joining Musicians Hangout live on YouTube Wednesday nights. And we're out, guys.
Yay. Thank you, artists. You did great.
That was really